Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for each life path number for the month of March 2025. Before we get into the forecast, this is a general forecast. If you would like your own personal numerology, in where we'll take a look at the numbers of your charts, your forecast, all of the good things, then please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below, and I would love to work with you. All right, let's take a look at what March has in store. Life path number 6, you are going to be working with the vibration of the 9 this month. So what's interesting is the 6 and the 9 are both very giving, very nurturing types of energy. And so when you move through a 9 cycle as a 6, there can be opportunities for needing or feeling like you need to give more, like feeling like people really need you now, you're not doing enough, that, just people come out of the woodwork needing your assistance. Maybe more so than they typically do. And it's going to be really, really important for you guys this month to check in with yourself and make sure that you have the capacity to give more than you already are. And to, just check in with yourself, body, mind, spirit. And if you feel good about saying yes to the needs of others at this time, whatever that looks like, then say yes, and you will get a lot of, rewarded back to you, just in the way it makes you feel and all of the things, right? Because you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart and because it feels good. But if you check in with yourself and you're like, man, I am just at capacity, like I just cannot take on anymore, like I can't give anymore, then that is your indicator to hit the pause button, to say no to the other person. And in doing so, you're actually doing a greater service to yourself and to the other person, because for you, you're giving yourself an opportunity to not overly burden yourself, to check in with yourself and fill up your own cup. And by saying no to that person, you are giving them an opportunity to find the support that they need from someone who can actually be there and do it, in a way that is good energy and isn't making them feel resentful. So I would just say, there will likely be many opportunities to pay it forward, to be in service this month or of service this month in some way. And if you are at if you have the capacity to be able to do that and you feel good about it, then this is a beautiful month to do that. So volunteer or give to a charity or show up for someone in support in some way that can really help to assist them. But if you are maxed out, if you just cannot do it, then you are actually doing a greater service to yourself and that person by saying no and allowing them to find that support from someone who is capable at this time. So I just want to point that out because, for most people who move through 9 cycles, it's a different energy. But for 6s, because you already have that at your core, that's such a nurturing, giving energy, a 9 cycle can really push you past your limits. And so, as strange as that may sound. So just check in with yourself, make sure that you have healthy, your healthy standards in place and you're filling your own cup up first, and then go for it, like be of service, fill up everybody else's cup, all the things, but don't do it at the sacrifice of yourself. So really important to check in there. And it gives you an opportunity to also have those difficult conversations, because nothing is more difficult for a 6 at times to have to say no to someone who needs their help. And so you just want to make sure that you are, having those healthy standards. Now, what I will say about 9 energy is it can bring in endings, closure, things coming to culmination or completion at this time. But usually in a 9 cycle, it's, for the most part, it's things that need to close out. I mean, we need to tie those loose ends up and get them off our plate. It's like cleaning the clutter or cleaning out your attic and getting rid of the stuff that's been sitting there for years. You're just gathering cobwebs. So it's a beautiful energy for that spring cleaning, for getting rid of things, closing things out. If you've been procrastinating in some area, this is a beautiful month to get it, snap into gear, get it taken care of, get it off your plate so you don't have to worry about it anymore. It'll feel so good and so freeing. So this is a great month for, again, just clearing the clutter, clearing off your plate, making room for things that are useful, that are more aligned, that you will actually use, right? Or that are serving your experience in some way. The 9 also can come in, and this is where it can feel a little bit more uncomfortable. If there's some area of your life where you need to release it, you need to make changes, you need to move on from it, this energy will come in and likely do that for you in some way. And that's where it can feel really uncomfortable because we know it needs to happen, but we haven't been doing it because we're either too comfortable in that situation, right? Or we're just afraid of the unknown. And so we haven't made those changes or those adjustments. And this 9 energy can come in and remove it for us in some way. And the purpose of that is to remove whatever is impeding our progression forward, our evolution. And that can be a toxic relationship, an unhealthy job, etc. So if it falls away this month, if it's taken away this month, there is a higher purpose, a higher reason for that. And it is serving something greater that you may not understand now, and you might not understand for many years from now. But the point is to not get caught up in the charged energy of that release. Move through the emotions, don't bypass all those things, right? Like definitely go through the grief of losing whatever this may be. It might be you lose your job or, just something happens that something is released. But if you really take the time to look at it, you'll see that there was a need for that release. For the most part, right? Like if some kind of death or something occurs, yes, there's a bigger picture there, but that's a whole nother story. So this is really kind of looking more at those things that we know need to be taken away. We just don't have the courage to do it. The 9 can come in and do it for us. So move through the emotions of that, but don't get stuck in the resentment of it getting taken away. If that happens. The other thing I would say with this energy is this is actually on a complete opposite side of the spectrum. This is a beautiful energy for romance and for new people coming into your life who are very soul aligned. So deep soul contracts, soulmate type of energy. So it can be a partner that comes in at this time, can also be a very beautiful friend or a new pet or something like that really just touches your life in a big way. There will likely be greater lessons that this soul contract will provide, but it's an opportunity to enhance your life in some way or change your life in some way. There's a deep soul connection there. So it's very, very possible as well. You could also get messages from, your higher self, from past loved ones, through your dreams, through just things that come in for you. Just pay attention to any visions, to what someone says to you that really resonates. To, again, your dreams. Your dreams will likely be very vivid this month. Pay attention. Sometimes there's deeper messages there. This is a month to release or start that process of releasing any bitterness that's really just been sort of, you've been really moving through, living in the past, right? Like resentments that just haven't been cleared out. This is a beautiful month for finding ways to release that bitterness, to release that heavy load that you might be carrying that is absolutely not serving you. And so it's a great month also to get therapy or work with a healer or whatever speaks to you to help you to release some of that charged energy that is not serving you. And to, find ways to move towards greater forgiveness and healing. This is a beautiful month for that kind of energy. It's also a very receptive kind of month. So this is not a month for forcing anything. This is a month for receiving and seeing what presents to you and then deciding, what you want to do from that place. Be really careful about being overly judgmental, being bitter, cynical, or obsessive. This can sometimes bring in obsession energy. Just be careful about that. You don't want to be too obsessive about things because then you're forcing it. You're not getting the whole story. It just clouds your judgment, etc. So be careful about like jealousy, that sort of thing as well. Or even victim mentality. It's never my fault. It's always the other person. This month could really confront you with where it is that you show up in life that way. That's actually holding you back. So we can really be asked to move through some of those deep-seated beliefs that are actually creating a self-imposed prison. Now, your animal wisdom message for this month is Raven energy. And so Raven is interesting because, with ravens, I watched this thing. I can't remember who, where it was from or what it was. Might have been like, I don't even know. But it was talking about how ravens, obviously they're really smart birds, right? They're incredibly intelligent, but they hold a grudge. I didn't know that, but they can hold a grudge for years, right? So if you do something to a raven, they're going to remember and they're going to hold a grudge and they're likely going to tell their friends about you. And so, just be careful what you do in the midst of ravens. But that grudge, that's also that 9 energy. Just be careful about, again, holding a grudge, holding on to bitterness, holding on to past situations that are now clouding your current situations, right? Like this is an opportunity to heal that. Even if you can't heal it with the other person, heal it from within yourself so that you're not carrying that anger and that resentment or that grudge, because it's not doing anything to the other person. It's only affecting you truly. So this 9 cycle, though it's a short cycle, is a beautiful time to start the process of releasing that venom that is not serving you. It's only hurting you. And again, I would say, through a therapist or something like that. So beautiful energy this month. Hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now.